Hi everyone, it's Faye from That Mad Boo. What drew me to the picture of this cat was his amazing expression and his tongue and those eyes. Oh, they're just so mesmerising. The other thing that drew me to it was he reminds me of my lovely cat Pepper. Pepper was my cat many years ago and she was fantastic. I love black cats and I think they're much maligned. Here in the UK they are classed as lucky, and unfortunately in some places in the world I understand they're classed as being unlucky, which is an awful shame because I think people are missing out on one of the most amazing little creatures you could possibly wish to have. Like most people, I wanted a stripy cat. I didn't want a black cat, but when we went, all the stripy cats are gone and there were just 2 black ones left. Everyone recommended not getting Pepper because she was completely mad. In fact, they said they used to hit her across the head with a saucepan to keep her under control. I shall refrain from commenting on that. She was a little bit crazy, but when I sat down, the first thing she did was come up and sit on my lap and curl up in a tight little ball, much to everybody's amazement. Of course, every cat owner knows that means you've been adopted. She was the scruffiest little thing you could wish for. Although she was black like this cat, she didn't have the beautiful fur. She had bald patches above her eyes and her fur was all matted and scruffy. So home she went. Things did not go smoothly with Pepper. Pepper was traumatised. Where we used to live, it was a huge house. Well, by our standards, not by American standards. And it was an old house. And we used to have a door upstairs. Every morning my dad would come down first, and every morning he would end up with wet socks where Pepper had peed at the base of the door. This did not go down well, so I had to do something about it. Now at the time we didn't know so much about cats, and it was told that Pepper would stop them from peeing. So every night before I went to bed, I would put Pepper down in front of the door to stop her from peeing. This is where she got her name Pepper from. I can't actually remember if it actually worked. Pepper proved to be quite the challenge. She was manic. She would climb up all the curtains and dent them, and she actually bent the rails at one point. But she was such a devoted, loving little cat, and I loved her to pieces. Unfortunately, because of her trauma, she attached herself to me a little bit too much. Pepper proved to be quite the magician. In those days, cats went out at night, and when she was older, she was expected to go out. Unfortunately, Pepper had other ideas, and because the house was older and because she was black, she found it very easy to hide. Every evening she would be put out with all the other cats, and every morning when we came down she would be back inside. We couldn't understand it, so every evening after we'd put all the other cats and shut the window, we searched the house and the cupboards to see if we could find Pepper. To no avail. Pepper seemed to be able to find somewhere to hide no matter what we did. In the morning we had the reverse problem. I had to go to work. Pepper decided she would follow me. She would always follow me, crying all the way up the hill, bless her. So we had to make sure she was in and lock her in. Pepper, being the little magician that she was, seemed to always find her way back out again. She was absolutely brilliant. I had Pepper for quite a while, but unfortunately it came to the point where I had to move away from home for various reasons. Pepper had to stay behind. Getting a place where you could keep a cat just was very, very difficult, and there were phases where I lived with other family members that didn't want cats. Mum looked after Pepper for a further 2 years, but unfortunately then she decided enough was enough, and Pepper went to another home. Unfortunately I didn't know about this at the time, and it's something I've always deeply regretted. I really hope Pepper found a loving home. I'm sure she did, because she deserved it. If you have any of your own cat stories to tell, I'd love to hear them below in the comments.